Hey folks, it's Tina here at DeBoer's Auto. And the month of August also gets us ready with anticipation for what the next month is going to bring in that September. And so we're all embroiled in our back to school activities, getting prepared, making sure that our kids are going to be set up for success in school, backpacks, clothes, school supplies. And sometimes with our teenage drivers, we stop and we forget that there's plenty that we could do to prepare them for success for driving. Nothing makes parents more nervous than having to let their child go and be independent, and that can be hard. So here at DeBoer's Auto, we have some tips to help you make the transition safe and more pleasant for everybody. So when you have a new teen driver, you want to make sure that the number one thing you can do for them going to school for the first time by themselves is to map out the route, practice it with them, and make sure they have a good feel for going to and from their school. The next thing you can do is just identify hazards so that you make sure you remind your student driver to be aware of those potential danger zones on the route they're going to be taking most frequently to and from school. This will help reduce accidents from inattentiveness. It'll help keep those items fresh in your child's mind as they're making their way on their own to and from locations that they're familiar with. In addition to that, you might want to set some ground rules. Make sure that it's clear on both sides. Ground rules such as obviously no texting, stay hands-free, make sure you're driving safely, always wear your seatbelt, always make sure that you're keeping your eyes on the road and not on your radio or your music or anything else. And the other things you can do to help your student driver become a successful and well-prepared driver is to teach them how to do a quick, brief safety check every time they get into their vehicle. So this is where you do a quick walk around, you check your tires to make sure they look inflated, you look through the wheels to make sure nothing looks like it's been grinding up against a rotor. You pop the hood, you'd want to check your oil level really fast. You can check your windshield washer fluid level because you'd hate to get stuck in a storm or in snow or something like that and just not have something that can clear off the windshield. Always double check on a weekly basis to make sure you have your emergency supplies. These are going to be things like your tire pressure gauge, your jumper cables. You're going to want to make sure you have extra oil and maybe a little funnel to pour oil into it should the oil run low. You're going to want to make sure that there's an emergency safety kit that's going to have all of your first aid supplies should you need it. Extra water, some snacks in case you get stranded. Hopefully none of that happens, but it's best to be prepared. And the last thing we want to suggest for teen drivers, after you've gone over all the rules and you've set them up for success, discuss the option of possibly putting in a two-way camera on the dash area for your student driver. There are two benefits to this. One, it helps your child know how serious you are about following the rules and how you need them to be safe and courteous drivers. That two-way camera will see other drivers and how they're responding to your student driver. It's also going to show your student driver being responsible and not being on the phone and not texting while driving and things like that. So not only does it increase the safety outcome, but it also helps you because if you report to your insurance companies that you have that installed, you are going to experience a discount. So make sure when you're putting your new student driver on there that you talk to your insurance company and find out what that can do for you. Stay safe out there. Make sure you talk about these things often with your children to make sure they're safe. And if you have any other questions or concerns, you can find us here at 83 Route 23 in Hamburg, New Jersey. You can call us anytime at 973-827-4047 or visit us online at www.autorepair.shop. Thank you.